I am in the paid version. So if you don't have the paid version, you're not going to have access to this little really cool feature, which I'm going to show you. If you go down on the left hand side, you'll see Explore GPTs. If you click this, what you'll have is access to a bunch of pre-designed GPTs. They're like little apps that these people actually created with no coding needed, and that's what I'm going to show you how to do. There's probably hundreds of thousands of them up here by now, because you can actually create an app like this in a minute or two, literally. And so if you want to use somebody else's GPT, you could see they have different categories here. Productivity, this is what I like. I like a lot of productivity, writing. This is DALI. This is GPT's image creator. I'm not really impressed by it. It's sort of like cartoonish. There's a lot of other graphic programs that do a lot better. But again, if you have the free version, it works. It works. Anyway, so we got research, we have programming, education, and if you don't see something that you like, you can just search it. So let's say I want a database GPT, and I'm just looking for this. So it's got GPT Oracle. These are, okay, database designer. That's something that's pretty out there. So I did that just to show you that why would somebody create a database in an AI? But I'm sure that they have reasons. Anyway, that's not even the cool part I want to show you. What I want to show you is my GPTs, because as I go through my day, I come across stuff that I have to do, and I'm always looking for ways to streamline and make things easier. So you could see some of these are marketing, but most of the ones that I've created have to do with my accounting and tax business. So you could see, like over here, we have local U.S. business registration guide. So for my business, it's very, very important that my clients are in compliance, not just with federal tax laws, but with state and local licensing. And this will easily show you what you need. What do I need? So I'm in all caps. And with the AIs, they don't care about grammar and spelling and caps. I mean, you could even use other languages. What do I need to be a contractor in one? And I'm just going to put the zip code in. So I know in this zip code, you got to jump through a lot of hoops. So it's going to give you okay. So for residential property, general kind. So for these things, we need a. This is what we need: federal ID number. That could be your social security number. If you're not incorporated, which I don't recommend. So now you need actually a background check, but I could tell you that I'm pretty sure that you need experience. They're not just going to let anybody. So I'm going to say, do I need any experience in the industry? So, another thing that you have to remember with these AIs is, number one, they're not perfect. But no, I was wrong. You don't need any industry experience to apply for a home improvement contractor license. So another thing is I didn't even say home improvement contractor, I just said contractor. So I wasn't really specific enough. So you want to be more specific. If you don't get all the information that you're looking for, like what just happened with me, you can ask for more specifics. You could change the zip code. Okay, how about for zip code? So this is a different county. So on Long Island, there's two counties. There's Nassau County and Suffolk County. So again, this is for a home improvement contractor license. Okay, so if I had a client that wanted to do a specialized type of business, which was called shrink wrapping. Okay, so let's see. What about shrink? So now I'm getting really granular. And I believe that we ran into a problem because you actually need experience. So let's see about the experience. So again, if you shrink route, okay, so now they're saying you also need a license from the Consumer Affairs Division. What about So next, I'm going to show you exactly how did I create this, because that's really the question, and also why did I create it? Because what I'm going to show you and everything is dictated by a prompt. And if you don't know what a prompt is, a prompt are the instructions that you're going to give the AI. And there's a whole uh, many lessons on how to construct good prompt. So what I did was I just went to create, and now I don't even have to know how to do a prompt. That's how easy it is. So, but what you want is you still want to be specific. Now, let me also tell you why I created it. Because yeah, I could have just said, I could have created a prompt for that information. Okay. But what's great about these is you could share them. You could share them with the world just like those other people did. And you could use them as a lead magnet. You can use them for your team, whatever, repetitive task that you're doing. Yeah, I mean, there's a whole slew of things that you can do with them in marketing and productivity. So, in the accounting business, there's a lot of times we got to do research, we got to go to websites, and this makes things 10 times easier. So let's see, what do I want to do? I want this GPT to help me import data into any accounting program. Okay, that's pretty broad. It's something that we have to do all the time. And it's not always that simple, because first you have to have in the right format, you have to have it in the right program, usually a CSV file. And then you have to make sure that the top row, the header, has exactly the information the way that program wants it. So it created the image. Okay, usually it gives you the name. Okay, so I'm just going to say that's good with the picture. Okay, so now it's asking me what should be emphasized or avoided. Emphasize the different program requirements. So most of the time, what happens is it just creates the program. Okay. So let's see what it's doing. How would you like to? Okay. So now GPT, OpenAI, actually they've changed this. I could see this because now it's asking, do you want it to be formal? I'm just going to say professional. I could tell it I want it to be humorous. I want it to, be funny. I want it to act like a brand new accountant. I want it to be dry. Anyway, so the sky's the limit. I don't really have that much of an imagination. So we're just going to do it like this. And it's taking a little bit of time. Okay, so I paused the screen. I wanted to see why it was taking so much time. And that's also something that happens, not a lot, but it happens. It happens often enough so that you should know what to do. So all I did was I refreshed it, and lo and behold, it already had the the information here. So you could see now I could actually take this and put it into another AI like Gemini or Grok or whatever. It also gave me automatic conversation starters. Okay, so I could, a lot of times, if you know what you want to ask just to start out, I usually just say click here and then it'll start. Now down here, I don't think we need any kind of image. We need code interpreter and data analysis, and that's it. You also want it to be able to do a web search. Those are just standard that I usually put up there. So now over here, it's going to ask you, and you can change this later. I can give anyone at my business a link. I can give it anyone I want. Just share the link with the world. I can put it in the store. I can have it as invite only. So we're just going to leave it in testing mode right now, because another thing you want to do is, or that you don't want to do, is you don't want to create a GPT that you think does something and then it doesn't work. Okay. Okay. So we can go with one of these tailored, or I'm going to do help me import my bank statements into zero. So I'm not even telling it what zero is. I want it to figure it out. Or if it doesn't know, it's going to give me the wrong information, or it's going to say, what is zero? Okay, so now it's asking me questions. I'm just going to say PDF, and that's it. I'm not answering all the questions. You can't do a direct import. I know that. Okay. With AI, they should have a direct import, but they don't. So what it's telling me to do is they're telling me to put it into HubDoc. Okay. If you're not using HubDoc, it's saying do it here. So I'm gonna ask it, can I just imported here. So this GPT obviously needs some work. Okay, absolutely. So now I'm going to take one of my bank statements. I should have one here. Okay, here's some bank statements. And so what it should do, or what it will do, is it's going to take it and convert it into a CSV file. And then, what happens is, I could create this, so you could see it automatically brought in data very quickly. Now it's going to create a CSV file, and now it's giving me instructions on how to import it into Zero. So that one actually took a little bit of time. I think part of it is they're making it. ChatGPT is asking more questions. They're asking like, what tone do you want? What persona do you want? Anyway, that's it for this training, and I hope you enjoyed this. I'll have a lot more because this is endless, and that's my story. I'm sticking with it. God bless. Over and out. Thank you.